north of the village, up close to the college. And Mary, do you do anything with glyphs?
Pardon me?
Glyphs?
Oh, a little bit.
I'm aware of them. I've never found any. I know some people swear by them, but this guy said they were broken sticks put on the ground in some sort of an arrangement.
Yeah.
And the next day when he came back, they'd been moved and he found a track. And he sent me a picture, and I really couldn't see the track, but that doesn't mean there wasn't one there, because I've found tracks myself and photographed them and they didn't show.
Yeah.
So, but I asked him to keep an eye on it, and if he saw any more of those sticks come in a different arrangement, and he hadn't gotten back with me. But some people were.
Give me his information.
Well, I'm waiting to see if he gets back to me, and he hadn't got back. I had another call from a guy here in Coshocton County about tracks in his yard, and he may stop by here tonight. He had to go to something today. He said he couldn't be here at 7, but he's going to try to get me. Let's see. Okay, this is what Matt talked about. I got a post from a woman on Facebook, and then I saw it posted other places. There was a 5-year-old, 150-pound Great Pyrenees dog killed by something, had long deep gashes in its face and chest area. Also a calf was missing, and they have drag marks on the ground where something dragged it off. And this took place over by Salt Fork. They said about a mile from the shortcut store up in, what is that, North Salem?
Yeah.
About a mile away. And of course everybody and their brother commented on it. It's a bear, it's a mountain lion, it's a mountain lion, it's a bear, it's a Bigfoot.
What's the official?
Well, I don't know. It just.
Mountain lions not gonna take down the Great Pyrenees.
But, well, I don't know.
I mean,
And then there were
not without
people,
a good fight.
and you know, if you talk to the DNR, they'll say, well, we don't have mountain lions. Well,
They've
people
been on trail
do
camera.
get them on trail cameras now and then. There's been pictures in the Cambridge paper at least 2 or 3 times in the last 5 or 6 years of mountain lions, you know, that people got pictures of.
I saw them when I lived in Bakersfield. I saw them, so did my husband, and so did my brother. No.
So, I'm keeping the pen.
You got a pin on his
Write it in blood, because that's what pen. So that's something we're waiting to get more information on. Now, if you want to go over
I'll
there,
go out there. That's why I'm giving you my number. So I'll
we'll
go
go
out
to
there.
the that store in North Salem and ask them if they've heard anything.
The
about
store and the bait store right there.
Not the bait store, the
But
one
the
on the
store
corner.
before
that-
you get to the bait store.
Yeah, that shortcut or cut off store or
yeah,
whatever it's called.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That's why we carry the weapons out there in the woods.
Yeah.
Not for,
So I don't know what it was, but and I haven't seen any pictures. I have seen pictures from other places where animals get torn up. A lot of times you see a lot of horses getting scratched and ripped
Yeah.
up by something, and I don't know what does it. But
So I didn't find any remains of the calf.
Nope.
no, I hadn't heard
just
anything.
drag
Just
marks.
apparently the property owner said it was dragged on their property and went to another, and they didn't go on across the fence or under the fence or
So
whatever.
it was dragged. That's
Yeah.
not a Bigfoot then.
It was dragged off.
Yeah, that's not a Bigfoot. They would just throw it up over
Yeah.
the shoulder.
Walk off with it.
Yeah.
So, and then the last, when were we here prior to this one? 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
We had some activity. Steve, didn't you get some audio vocalization?
Some
Do
of
you
it
have
was-
that with you?
Some of it was coyotes, and then there was a possible whoop after one of the coyotes yipped out
Do you have that you could play?
It's down. I have to see what the charge is on my phone. I got a little speaker I can hook it up to if it's got a charge on it.
Okay, if you want to get that.
I got it in mine if it doesn't work for you,
Do
Steve.
you have it? I'll grab my speaker and.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, some other people were here that same weekend, and I believe some others got calling. Did you get anything that night?
Only thing I heard was a good sounding tree knock, or right over there at the corner, either over by the cemetery or right there at the corner of this campground.
Yeah,
And it happened both weekends that we were here, and it was right at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, I heard a vocal, I think the same time that Bob did, we both heard the same vocal.
Was that right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where Steve recorded this?
He recorded it from that light pole right there, down there, with the electric boxes on it. That's where he had his recording.
What time was that?
It was all night long. He let it run all night.
Okay.
He's not sure exactly what time the sounds happened and when.
Did anybody go down to the dam and get anything 2 weeks ago?
We didn't put our recorder out the night that all this went on.
No, but he's talking about at the dam. We
No.
didn't
We didn't do anything.
I didn't hear you for the traffic.
No, we didn't get anything at the dam. We
Uh.
thought we did, but we debunked it last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, you mean you thought you got something 2 weeks ago, but
Correct.
so you didn't get
With
anything?
the night vision, yeah.
They went during the day and investigated afterwards, and it was a diamond-shaped rock. or
Yeah,
something.
it was markings on a rock and all.
Oh, so that's what you saw 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay. That was that real steep place?
Yes, big disappointment.
Okay. Well, but haven't people been seeing stuff down in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jay's been.
Yeah.
Jay.
Okay.
Jay's got a picture of a white one down there.
At the dam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've seen that one couple weeks back down there that was white.
First week of August, on the other side, in that field on the far side.
Yeah.
Did I ever send you those pictures, Doug, of that handprint that I told you about in Athens County?
I don't know if you did or not.
I know I told you about it. I called you before I even got the picture.
Where'd you get them
It's
off
about,
of?
well, how long? In May? Is that in May? This was May. If I did, you'll remember.
It's possible.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I had it right on there.
That's second on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear like a howl or a scream or something, but it's off and yeah.
Do you have?
Here it
Do you
is.
have a way to charge it?
Here it is.
Here we go, guys.
That was that one.
Now that was here?
Yeah.
Who was that talking?
I have no idea. I had my recorder down on the back side of this wooden board right here where those meters are at,
Uh-huh.
facing that way. And then some of it was coyotes, I think. But
That was an awesome
That's what I heard.
That's a splash.
that would sound like a whoop, kind of.
I wasn't no coyote.
Walking.
Get them off
call from here that night?
Yeah, and then a couple little thump. I have no idea what that was.
Are we done?
I didn't even think about when
Yeah,
she was recording it onto her phone. I'm doing, talking. I would have.
No, but it's on your original recording too. It's not on mine.
I don't know if that was a coyote or what that.
Was it raining that night?
Wolfman.
That was actually, the dew was so bad coming off the trees, it sounded like it was raining.
I'm not sure what that was. There's just some sort of a howl going on in it.
That was the best one of the group. I think.
Where was that coming from?
I think it was coming
Cemetery?
from out that way.
Out
Yeah.
this way?
I'm so glad you got that. No, you just make me small if you're putting.
Yeah, those calls at the beginning, that's what I heard.
That one screech,
Yeah,
or the one you said was
the
a female.
Yeah.
They could have been mimicking a coyote too, trying to call him in.
Yeah, well, that's a different call.
That one, I do like the one like it's Tim, right?
Tim?
What's that?
That one like she was saying with the screech, but I do like the one like you were saying, that second call. You can hear the long drawn out and just
Two back to back.
yeah.
Did you hear that? Or were you asleep?
I was in the truck and had the recorder out going. It was placed on the back side of that meter board on that telephone pole.
I don't think any of us heard those.
But you never heard anything while you were here?
Not while I was in the truck, no.
All right.
But didn't that sound like someone's voice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
there
somebody
was-
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was no one talking, was there?
There shouldn't have been, not
No.
the wee hours of the morning. I think
No.
everybody was crashed.
It was like what, 3 or 4 that all that went down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, whenever the screeches happened, I looked
what
at the
time you'll
clock,
be up.
that was
Mm-hmm.
3 almost.
That's when they're running.
Cause I remember you getting up in the morning talking about the
Yeah.
screeches.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't there stuff going on in the camp, like something walking around?
Big, yeah,
Something
everybody
come
heard
through
something.
here.
Footsteps, heavy footsteps. And, yeah.
Last night we had something going. I can't say whether it was a deer or a person. It was me and Joel was sitting at that fire. Everybody else was over here. Something come down off the ridge line that way. And then something walked
There's one
along
here.
the bottom of the ridge line this way. There was all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I
Zigzagging
wanted-
through the woods over there last night.
You made me think of something I forgot to mention.
Thank you.
While you're out here driving around, be really careful for deer, because I come out here last night. What time did I leave? Was it 2 o'clock?
2 maybe?
2 a.m. or something? I missed everything. But anyway, I almost hit deer going
Oh,
home.
did you?
They were everywhere, and I over on 83 north of New Concord by the golf course, there was something hitting the road, and it looked like a coyote.
Oh.
And so I saw it on the way over, and when I was going back, I was going slower so I could take a good look at it, and I popped up over a hill. And it's a good thing I was only going 40, because there was deer all over the road. And I got stopped in time, but it was right in that same spot. So they're out, you know, along the side of the road, crossing the road and everything. And also when I come out tonight, between Otsego and Bloomfield, there was 4 girls in an Amish buggy traveling along, and
I've seen them, come back from the house.
so be careful for them when they're, you know, just take it slow, 'cause
When I picked Jack up at the hospital last night, was bringing him back, we turned off the 16 on the 83 coming this way, and there's that cornfield along the side, and something that was about yay tall and black, and it was every bit as wide as my Durango, was crossing the road in front of us. We had no clue what it was. It was pitch black, had a long tail on it, and like I said, about that tall. It was as wide as that triangle over there. When it hit the center of the road, it was about, head was about that far away from the white line, and his tail was about that far away from the double yellow.
Like a panther.
Had no clue what it was. Wasn't a coyote.
Are there panthers in
Had
Ohio?
that cat-like head on it.
Not according to the wildlife.
Me and
they
Jack were
say
talking
that.
back and forth on the way back here. Was like, what the hell was that?
They would know.
I seen a black one like that when I was coming back from Salt Fork one night, probably about 11 o'clock. Right like where 800 peels off of 22 there. He was out on the end of the headlights, come across the road, jumped over the guardrail, and it was long.
This was like slinking along.
Yeah, this one was about 4 foot, the body was about 4 foot long and had a long tail. It was all
This
black.
Really?
tail was
Yeah.
as
So
wide as
we got
wire.
panthers in Ohio.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Jack didn't either.
maybe he was just passing through, I don't know.
Wow.
Next time we talk to Jack, ask him about it. He got a better side of it than I did, because I had made the turn and was looking further ahead down the road.
does anybody have any questions? Any of you new people that's come in, do you have any questions?
Yeah, is all of this just around this area that you guys are finding these things?
Well, we usually go to Salt Fork, but they never opened the daggone group camp this year. So
How far is that from here?
not real far. What would you guys guess by the way the crow flies?
25 minutes to a half hour.
Not too far.
Have you heard of any sort of activity in northeast Ohio?
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
that's where I come from, so I don't know.
Yeah.
There's your resident expert on Northeast Ohio.
Ashtabula County's had tons of
In Columbiana County.
If I had my phone, I'd play you.
Yeah,
I've heard in Columbiana County.
Oh, yeah.
I'd play that
A lot of
Cuyahoga.
sightings there.
But
Ohio,
Coshocton County's had a lot of sightings over the year. This road right across 83,
That's
that
at a
County
park
Road
that
410.
overlooks a
There's been a lot of
I don't know where it
sightings
is.
off of that
It was
road.
just- It was described to me. It's like they're
Yeah,
on the
and
hilltop.
down to the
It drops
down to
down
the
into a
dam at
valley
Wolf
and
Creek
it
and
goes all
the
around.
Woodbury Wildlife
There's some
area
park
Yeah.
is not very far.
Yeah.
Matt over here has a map.
Where's that at? Doug, what road was that? you
Doesn't
just said?
exist.
What's that?
Doesn't exist.
What road did you just say?
County Road 410?
Yeah, we went out there today,
Uh-huh.
and I was wanting to go tonight.
You go out 410 right here, you go straight out, you'll hit a gravel road on the left, and you turn left, you'll see on the right, probably half mile down, there's like it's a big pile of dirt, but it goes back
that what
in
we
like
were
a
on?
old gravel pit. And if you walk up, there's a trail that goes up the hill, you hit the mountain bike trail. Me and Joel did that last camp out. It's squatchy up there.
If any of you have any of my books, the first book that I wrote called Standing in the Shadows, there's a story in there about a bow hunter named Tyler from down in Hamilton, Ohio, and he was camped out off of 410 by himself, and something came into his camp around midnight one night and started screaming, and it scared him so bad he had chest pains, but his crossbow was not in the tent with him, it was outside, and he unzipped the tent and went out and got that crossbow and was looking around, and he actually took a picture with his phone, because he said, I thought whatever it was making those noises out there was going to kill me, and I thought maybe I could get a picture of it and they'd know what did it. But he he ended up, you've heard the term breaking camp. Well, that's what he did. He bear hugged his tent and pulled it down, bending the poles and everything, and he threw it in his boat and started the motor and come back down to the old boat ramp over here. He said he loaded that boat in record time and got the hell off of, out of here and went up to Coshocton and got a motel room.
My goodness.
And he called his wife. There's no cell service right here. Nope. But he got a room and he called his wife and told her, and she sent the Sosbi group a message, an email that night, and I just happened to read it the next morning, and I called her and she gave me his phone number, and I talked to him. And he used to come to our campouts when we were camping over at Salt Fork. And he was going to come to the first one. Was that the one that rained? Was that the first one?
Yeah.
He was going to come to that, and he changed his mind because of, we had rain and he didn't come. And I've been trying to get him to come back to another one. Get him to tell that story again. But 410's had quite a few things happen off of it. Matt could tell you some stories. Are you standing up, Matt?
Where Tyler had his encounter 30 years before that, a buddy of mine was just up the creek, well, be down the creek from that, probably 1,000 yards, and he had the same thing happen to him. This is general the same area, same time of year. It was in November, 1st of November, same type of weather, foggy, real cold night. He had a flashlight that you couldn't, you had to take a match just to see if it was lit. And it scared him so bad, he jumped, unzipped his tent and fired a .22 Magnum in the air. The thing screamed louder and started breaking more sticks. And he broke camp too, just like Tyler did. This was like 1,000 yards, not very far.
We saw like a dirt road, wide enough for vehicles to drive to the creek off of 410.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was anywhere in the vicinity you talking about these stories.
It's just actually down the road about a mile.
Yeah,
Next to that turnout, that's pretty close.
Everybody's playing.
Yeah, past that turnout.
Yeah, but that's close though.
And my grandparents, this is back in the 60s, they used to come down here and camp, a couple weeks at a time. And this is actually on the other side of the creek, about in the same area. This happened back in the 60s. They heard one, well, they said it was a mountain lion, but he said my grandpa said it woke him up about 4 o'clock in the morning. They thought it was said it sounded like a woman screaming. And they thought it was a cougar, a mountain lion back then. Bigfoot wasn't around here back in the 60s that, nobody knew about or nothing was ever said. But they stayed there the whole week.
Matt, if some of them wanted to just go out and sit, park the car and get out, or sit in the car with the windows down and listen, where would you recommend other than 410?
Well,
the one on the other side of the water, that one that runs parallel with it?
Yeah, that would be a good area.
Yeah, because that's got them cornfields and
yeah.
And I've had activity over there by Plainfield off of 138 and 123.
Yep. That's a very good area over there. There's been sightings over there since, I know, back in the 80s.
Yeah. And what about that Lake Lila? He can tell you because he goes.
If you go on 410,
yeah,
and just stay right on 410, and it'll bring you to. I have to look on my map to see what road that is. If you just make a left. Now there's been one sighting over there at Lake Lila in the camp that I know of, and that was back in the 90s. I was growled at over there, not to where Mary had all her sightings back, well, not sightings, but activity back in what, the 40s, 50s, Mary?
Oh yeah.
I was growled at not too far from there back in the 80s.
They chased my aunt. They chased
That's
the other ones.
probably as the crow flies a mile and a half.
Try to break in their houses. They used to watch us all the time, all up and down the Sherlock Ridge. They'd stand back in the edge of the woods and watch the different homes, watch the kids' activities.
Now, if somebody was to go out, they're not allowed to build a fire, or they are?
Well, not really, but people do.
They do it?
You see people building fires and camping alongside Wolf Creek all the time, actually.
Yeah.
Especially on, like holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Especially, yeah.
Night fishing.
Okay, anybody else have any questions or anything? Anybody have a story they want to tell? Not you, Mary. We've heard. We got to be out of here. We got to be out of here by Sunday.
You haven't heard all the stories that I could tell you.
We got to be out of here by Sunday.
You start telling stories.
You'll never get out of here.
We used to call them hairy creatures because we didn't know what else to call them. People used to try and make out like they were just people that was dressed up in suits. I told Mom, I said they must have one half a good sewing machine. Because all you had was a little old kettle machine, you know. And I said they was covered pretty darn good. They didn't care what time of year it was. And then finally someone come up with the idea, because of seeing the footprints, which are called Bigfoot. And I said, boy, that was easy to explain.
Somebody shooting at ponds.
Okay, I can't see if anybody's wanting to say anything or raising their hand or what. So,
Other than you're going to try to do another meeting or not.
Well, we appreciate you welcoming us out-of-staters to join you.
Huh?
I said we appreciate you letting us out-of-staters come and join you.
Oh, we don't have any problem with that.
You don't count, man. You're from
Welcome,
Charleston.
you guys.
It's just down the road.
Just down the road, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, West Virginia, down Charleston way.
Yep, not very far.
Did you have any problems finding your way here?
No, not a bit.
Okay.
I did. I got lost.
Well,
Couldn't find your way out of that
22
back
minutes
back,
I
huh?
can be on my front porch.
Richard had trouble a time or two finding his way here, but he found it tonight, so I think he's good to go now.
Yeah, just don't come down this hill too fast.
Yeah, or you're going to miss the road.